Morning to you, Congressman.
Good morning.
Well, what do you make of this story that's out there that apparently the White House nixed the president meeting with the prime minister? The White House says that's not true.
It's an apparent snub of Netanyahu. It's the priorities of the president. The priorities of the president are to campaign, to get reelected, to be on David Letterman. His priorities are not really to be, as he should be, the commander-in-chief and protector of our national security. An example, of course, is when Netanyahu says, I need to meet with you personally about what's going on in Israel and Iran, the president says, we'll get back with you. So it's a priority problem with the administration.
So you would know something about this. You sit on the Committee for Armed Forces and Foreign Policy. But let me ask you this. Apparently, Netanyahu fired back yesterday, and I'm not sure the exact order, but he made this statement, which was very clear, a message to the United States.
This was first.
For refusing to set clear red lines on Iran's nuclear progress that would prompt the United States to undertake a military strike. As a result, Netanyahu said the administration has no moral right to restrain Israel from taking military action of its own. What do you make of that?
Well, the United States and Israel have different red lines in the sand on what to do and when to do it with Israel. And Netanyahu wants to make it clear where Israel's is and where ours is. Not only for Israel, our strongest ally, but for the rest of the world, including Iran. What is the United States' position? And that's why Netanyahu wants to meet and should meet with the president. The president, you know, is every day gets daily briefings or can get daily briefings on intelligence around the world. Now we understand that the president may miss half of those meetings since he's been president. It's priorities on the administration. He is the world leader, national security, and he is focused on other issues.
Congressman, let me ask you, for people who don't do this every day, what's the difference diplomatically and internationally between the phrase red line and deadline?
Well, red line is the line in the sand as to when there will be action. And Israel's apparent red line is when Iran has nuclear capability. Our apparent red line is further back when Iran actually has nuclear weapons. So to me, the line, the red line, deadline really are the same.
It makes no sense. The Secretary of Defense came out and said, don't worry, if they're going to make a weapon, we still have a year. Because once they decide to make a weapon, it takes them a year to make one.
Well, in my opinion, they are making a weapon right now. That is why they have this underground bunker in Iran to develop nuclear weapons. Meanwhile, our policy is try to use sanctions. Let's talk some more. So I don't think we can wait a year once that nuclear weapon is developed before we take some action. We need to have something. Our policy needs to be known to Israel now.
There's apparently some public relations spin going on now because President Obama did speak apparently for an hour with Netanyahu last night. So stay tuned to see if a meeting actually happens next week when he is in our country. Congressman Ted Poe, thanks for your time this morning.
Thanks, y'all.
Now to your headlines. More than 350,000 students in Chicago will go